Hi there and welcome back to the World Tour Wednesday, where this particular video is a recap because obviously, as you might know, we did South Korea last week and then we've moved on from there since to North Korea this week. Now, I did actually say at the time that if any videos come up where people can come up with a reasonable reason why we should go back to an artist, because obviously we're only getting a fleeting look at a country and certainly only a single look at each of the artists that we look at, then we will go back to certain ones. Now, there was a couple from South Korea that I'm interested in particular. We might go back to BTS. Certainly, I want to go back to Dreamcatcher. Who presented some really interesting things in their music that we want to find out a little bit more about. But one of the other ones that we got a lot of comments on was the band Twice. Now, Twice obviously is a massive phenomenon at the moment, alongside Blackpink. But I'm going to be honest, I haven't actually touched on Blackpink because I've heard Blackpink before, and honestly, I can't think of anything nice to say about their music. I mean that in the, I know it sounds harsh, but I've just listened to their music and it just sounds like the worst rip-off of American top 10 music done without any soul. It just sounds horrifying to me. By all means, if you can find something that isn't like that, go for it, but I'm concentrating on what we got at the moment. Twice offered up an interesting song first time. The song that we listened to before, obviously feel free to go back and listen to that if you want to. It had a lot of good elements to it. I kind of liked the video was kind of fun. The music was kind of good. I did notice though that when I started reacting to the song, that it was being sung in Japanese, and obviously that's the last thing you want when you're trying to do a world tour and you're trying to catch on a Korean song. And a lot of people pointed that out in the comments as well and said the Korean only songs are better. Now, that probably doesn't really surprise me. I think that obviously they're going to do the best stuff for their home market. I was actually surprised that there are songs that they only do in certain markets. I remember some of the older Korean girl groups used to do like a song in two languages and then record two totally separate videos, often with totally different premises for the same song to cover each language. Now, in the case of this, obviously, like I said, the first Twice song I heard was good, but it just felt a little bit like there's a little bit of room to go in this. Now, I was recommended to go and listen to them again, and I was happy to do that, but one of the songs that came up and the one that I was going to listen to was a song called Fancy. Now, I'm going to be honest, as you guys know if you've been following this channel, sometimes if I'm going to review a song, it kind of disappears from the schedule, and that's usually when I listen to it and I just don't feel the review's very good. And I might as well tell you, because obviously we've only got a limited amount of time with Twice in this series, that I did listen to Fancy and I kind of stopped reviewing it halfway through. I listened to the end of the song, but I decided not to react to that one because, to be honest, it felt kind of bland to me. It felt like I was looking for a song that would take advantage of all the things that I enjoyed about the first song that I heard, and it became kind of clear to me quite early that this was not the way I wanted it to go. Usually when it comes to, I like a whole plethora of music from the heavy stuff all the way down to pop. I don't mind when pop does heavy, I don't mind when heavy does soft. I don't mind how you approach it, just so long as the effect is good. But I thought, okay, so I've listened to two Twice songs that are a little bit more perhaps on the hard edge side. So I decided just to go for myself, have a little look and find something that looked a little bit bright, a little bit colourful, and okay, let's go with that. So hopefully this one is going to make the cut and I'm not going to have to skip over this one as well. But this is a song called What Is Love. Seems to be quite popular, seems to be quite bright looking. Hope you guys don't mind me skipping on to this. Obviously I know I've got a couple of Twice fans who are watching, waiting for this, so feel free to leave me comments. Like I say, I apologise about the song Fancy. Just like I say, it didn't evoke enough reaction from me to really be worth posting. So this is What Is Love. Wish me luck. Oh, if it loads. Oh, wait, I can get this right. And go. Oh. It's kind of got a nice pop fun sense to it. I like the feel of where this is going, but obviously we've got the hook to come. This is going to get stuck in my head, isn't it?
언젠간 나에게도 사랑이 이런 상상만으로도 떠야만 봐도 가슴이
Nice shift up in the beat. All the good songs have a shift up in the beat in the second verse, don't they?
만일 언젠가 진짜로 사랑이 올 땐 난 울어버릴지도 몰라 정말 궁금해 미치것만 같아 언젠간 내게도 이런 일이 실제로 일어날까 그게 언제쯤일까 어떤 사람일까 I wanna know 사랑처럼 달콤하다는데 I wanna know 하늘이 나는 것 같다는데 I wanna know, 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 know 사랑이 어떤 느낌인지 I wanna know 하루 종일 웃고 있다는데 I wanna know 세상이 다 아름답다는데 I wanna know, know, know
Yeah, I'm screwed. This is stuck in my head. This is going to be... I'm going to have to wash this out of my brain.
지금 세상 어느 곳에 살고 있는지 도대체 언제쯤 다 만나게 될런지 언제 우리의 인연은 시작될런지 모르지만 느낌이
That's some heavy advertising. Oh, the product placement's everywhere all of a sudden.
더 멋지 사랑이 올 거야 내 예감 언제나 맞지 어서 나타나봐 나는 다 준비가 됐지 Ready 어디 있을까
Sort of nice, competent hip-hop section. Always livens up a pop song.
더 이상 참을 수 없을 것만 같아
What?
사탕처럼 달콤하다는데 하늘을 나는 것 같다는데 I wanna know, 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 know 사랑이 어떤 느낌인지 하루 종일 웃고 있다는데 세상이 다른
Again, another nice change up in the beat.
know, know 언젠간 나에게도 사랑이 올까 I wanna know I wanna know, 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 know I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know I wanna know, 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 I wanna know
Yeah, I got a lot more to say about that than I did about the other one. All right. Well, let's start from the beginning. I mean, first of all, just to draw a bit of context, I understand now, coming off the back of that song, that if you are by nature someone who is not a pop person, this one is not going to sell you on pop. I naturally, actually, I do have, I really enjoy a lot of pop music. It's funny, I like a lot of the stuff, the sort of the heavier stuff as well, but it's almost like pop is like a totally separate thing. You have to appreciate it in a very different way. And so, like I say, this is why I think I struggled a little bit with Fancy, and probably the way that the song, I keep forgetting the name, the song I heard before that, I found it a little bit more empty to my taste. To me, I think maybe this sort of fluffy pop that a lot of people see as being a bit cheesy, sometimes it works for me because it's the sort of thing that really only pop can do, is sort of give you that sort of feel-good factor that you know it's mass-produced. When you see it, there's a mass-produced factor to it. And when we're talking about K-pop as a general, we have to accept that K-pop is, for the best part, a very mass-produced genre. I know a lot of people will cite that certain artists have writing credits in the music and get very involved, but you cannot deny that K-pop is a very mass-produced item. I mean, the money they invest into it, I'm sure they invest once they've ensured that all the right people are in the team on board. So when we're looking at this, yeah, if someone wants to say, okay, it's a bit too produced for my liking, okay, it's a little bit too regimented for my liking, I can totally see that. I can totally see how for some people that would detract maybe from the enjoyment. But if you're looking at it from a pop perspective, what you're really looking for is you're looking for something that where the artist seems to be enjoying it, the song is catchy, the song has a feeling that really comes across, because whereas some people like to look at pop as having no feeling, the truth is pop can have a lot of feeling, just very different feelings from a lot of music, and it's a great source for happy music. So when we're looking at this, it's definitely catchy. I mean, that's a real earworm. That's to the point where that might become irritating. I'm gonna have to be careful with this one. If I listen to it again, it might get permanently lodged in my brain. So catchy is definitely there. When it comes to the idea of do they look like they're having fun, they really do. do. I thought the video was fantastically directed. I know that K-pop videos tend to, as a general, have a lot of money behind them and they tend to look very good. But this one especially, I thought there was just a sort of it kind of felt like there was a knowing, wise hand behind the camera on this one, because the shots, they weren't too quick. They were quick enough, but every shot was well managed. Every shot had, there was good camera movement. It was subtly done. Good sort of choice of how they cut between the frames. There was a real nice way that they were doing these sort of tributes to so many films. I mean, you could virtually tick off the ones you recognised. I think I pretty much got all of them. But it was some fantastic stuff in that sense, in that made it fun as well. It had that sort of cheesy pop culture value to it as well. Lots of things were likeable about the video, and their voices came across nicely on it too. Now, is it a particularly individual song? Obviously, we have to break it down at this point and say that no, there are a lot of other songs like this that exist, and I wouldn't be surprised if you're already shouting some of the names at the screen. There's more than a few songs that have this kind of rock and roll movement, but with a pop production, a very catchy melody, and a sort of pop culture video. That is a formula that has been done before, but this works. You can't detract from the fact that it works. It sounds good. It put a smile on my face. I'm pretty sure. I mean, obviously I have to watch this back to tell, but I'm pretty sure when I watched that I was smiling because it felt nice. And it kind of just, like I say, it had a good vibe, a positive vibe came out of it. When so much pop, I mean, if you think about the, not to just deliberately slag people off, but when you think about stuff like Nicki Minaj and whatever that song was where she was just talking about her rectum for the majority of it, you think, well, that's pop as well. And there's plenty of pop which is just people just shaking their butts at the camera and chanting some unimaginative lyric to absolutely no melody, chord pattern or structure at all. So when you hear something like this, I find it very hard to be critical of it. Derivative, maybe yes. You're going to argue soulless? I can't really argue against you on that level. But if you're just looking for something fun and poppy, this is great. And this is definitely the best song I've heard from them myself. I really liked it. I like the way this went. I hope they've got more stuff in this sense. I mean, obviously I don't want to just keep on churning out the same song, but more stuff where they just kind of embrace the fun factor of being a pop group. So yeah, I would call that genuinely quite a positive review. It's definitely stuck in my head. And actually, moreover, let's just put it this way. Of all the songs that we've heard, including the ones from World Tour Wednesday last week in South Korea, this is definitely the catchiest of all of them. A million miles more catchy than anything else. And obviously I really like the Dreamcatcher song, but the Dreamcatcher song wasn't as catchy as this. So yeah, I'm going to be checking out a little bit more Dreamcatcher sometime soon. As I say, we're filtering these sort of World Tour Wednesday recaps quite slowly, so if you want to suggest more twice, please do. I will check it. I'll try to be careful only to post ones where I can really give you a worthwhile opinion at the end. I'm pretty sure this one's definitely worth posting. I really enjoyed that. And because of the slow way in which we filter through them, you might have to wait a week or two for me to come back to it, but we certainly will come back to everything that we can. But for now, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much. If you were someone who just came for the K-pop last week and you've stuck around and come back for this, then thank you so much again. If you're new to the channel, then obviously, like I say, check out the South Korean videos from I did say South Korean videos from last week. And yeah, stick around for the channel if you want to hear just some more music from the world, from Asia especially, and of course our home here in Japan. But for now, enough waffle from me. Thanks for so much for tuning in. Have a lovely evening, and ciao ciao.